Sara walked past her boyfriend's motionless body, her face calm, showing no reaction. Behind her, a man quietly entered the apartment, watching her with a sinister gaze. She had no idea he was there. Without sensing danger, she began to undress and stepped into the shower. Through the glass, the intruder stared, murmuring about how beautiful she was. When Sara reached for a towel and couldn't find one, the man slid it toward her. She still didn't notice. Sara was blind. That's why she didn't panic. The man knew it too. That's why he didn't strike immediately. Then, Sara slipped. She stumbled to the floor, her hands brushing against something cold, Ryan's body. Panic erupted inside her. She screamed and fled the bathroom, trying to find her phone, trying to get help. But before she could reach the door, she ran straight into the man. Terrified, she backed away. "Who are you?" she cried. The man remained silent, instead throwing objects around the room to confuse her. The chaos made it harder for her to locate him by sound. Thinking quickly, Sara retreated to the bedroom, where she managed to lock the door behind her. Using her voice-to-text software, she dictated a frantic email to her sister, begging for help. But before she could send it, the window shattered. The man burst in and tackled her to the ground. Suddenly, the story flashes back to years earlier, when Sara worked as a photojournalist in Afghanistan. Her job was to capture the brutal realities of war. One day, she entered a small home where a frightened woman clutched a bundle wrapped like a baby. The woman pleaded with Sara, urging her to help. As Sara stepped closer, something felt off. The baby wasn't moving. She looked closer and realized it was a doll. A second later, the room exploded. The baby had been a bomb. Sara survived, but when she woke up, everything was dark. The blast had taken her sight forever. 3 years passed. Now back in the US, Sara was trying to rebuild her life. She lived with Ryan in a sleek, modern apartment that offered safety and peace, or so she thought. Ryan had become her emotional anchor, someone she leaned on to stay steady, but the nightmares from her past still haunted her. On New Year's Eve, Sara stepped out alone to buy drinks. She wanted to prove she could manage on her own, despite her blindness. On the street, she accidentally bumped into a cyclist and fell. A man helped her to her feet. She thanked him and moved on. The encounter felt strange, but she brushed it off. When Sara returned home, she called out for Ryan. No response. Moments later, she walked straight past his body, unaware of what had happened. Back in the present, the intruder tied her hand. She sat helpless, listening to him speak. He told her Ryan had lied. He wasn't some honest investor. He was a thief. The man believed Ryan had stolen something valuable, and now he wanted it back. He thought Sara knew where it was. She insisted she didn't. Sensing an opportunity, Sara asked if she could put on warmer clothes. The man agreed, distracted by a phone call. Quietly, Sara grabbed her camera and waited. When he turned back, she swung it at his face with all her strength. He staggered, stunned. Sara broke free and ran for her life. She bolted down the stairs and burst into the building's basement, calling out for help. Just then, her friend Antonio appeared. Relieved, Sara pleaded with him to call the police. But before he could act, the intruder returned. In a flash, Antonio was dead. Horrified, Sara fled again. She stumbled into the street, crying out for anyone to help her. That's when she met Robert, a kind-looking stranger. He offered help, calm, supportive. He listened carefully as Sara explained everything. He even called the police in front of her, earning her trust. But it was all a trick. Robert gently led her back into the apartment. Once inside, his demeanor changed. Gone was the helpful stranger. Now, his face was cold, calculated. He wasn't there to protect her. He was there to find Ryan's stolen loot. He wasn't alone either. He and the first man had joined forces. Together, they cornered Sara. Robert glared at her. "Enough games, Sara," he said. "Tell us where Ryan hid the money." Her heart pounded. She was trapped again. Now trapped with two ruthless men, Sara realizes her only chance of survival is to play along. Taking a shaky breath, she tries to buy herself time. "I don't know what you're talking about," she stammers, hoping they might back off. But her words only make things worse. They're growing more agitated, more impatient. Robert steps forward, his voice sharp and accusing. "Stop lying, Sara. Ryan stole something valuable, and we know you know where it is." Panic claws at her chest as she feels them closing in. Knowing denial won't save her, Sara decides to cooperate, at least for now. Her trembling hand points toward a large photograph hanging on the wall. "Behind that picture," she whispers. The two men glance at each other, uncertain but curious. The other man yanks the frame from the wall, revealing bundles of cash stashed behind it. Their eyes light up with greed, and they begin stuffing the money into bags. For a moment, Sara breathes, but she knows it's not over. Robert eyes her again, his gaze falling to the necklace around her neck, a single diamond pendant. "That's a nice piece," he mutters, suspicion in his tone. Instinctively, Sara clutches the necklace. Her heartbeat quickens. She knows any hesitation could provoke them. "That's not just jewelry, is it?" Robert presses. Ryan didn't just take money, he took diamonds. I'm guessing what you're wearing is one of them. Sara hesitates, then nods. Ryan gave this to me. It's the only thing I ever got from him, she says softly. I didn't know where it came from. Robert scowls. He doesn't believe her. You expect us to think he only gave you one? Where are the rest? Under their intense stares, Sara's mind races. She whispers, there's a secret drawer in the cabinet. The men rush to the spot. They pry open the drawer and dig through it, only to find a deck of playing cards. Robert flips through them angrily until he stops at the ace of diamonds. Written on it, in Ryan's handwriting, is a taunt. I'm number one. Rage flares across Robert's face. He clenches the card and snarls. He's mocking us! The other man slams his fist into the floor. Where are the real diamonds, Sara? He growled. I swear, she says, her voice shaking. I don't know. Ryan hid so many things from me. I didn't even know about this. But Robert is done playing games. She's lying! He snaps. His voice is tight with fury. The bad guy nods in agreement. If you're lying, Sara, you'll regret it. Just then, a knock echoes at the door. Sara's heart leaps. It's her sister, arriving for their New Year's plan. Thinking fast, Sara tells her sister to leave, claiming she and Ryan had a fight. Confused but concerned, her sister finally walks away. As the door closes, Sara turns back to her captors. They're unraveling. Tension is growing between them. Robert's greed is starting to cause friction, and Sara sees it, a small crack she might use. They argue. Voices rise. And in that chaos, Sara reaches for the hidden gun. Her hands tremble, but she pulls the trigger. The bullet grazes Robert's side, making him stumble. A struggle breaks out. Sara, fueled by adrenaline and fear, slips free from his grasp. She runs, straight to the terrace. Outside, the night air hits her face, but there's no time to breathe. Robert charges after her, furious and desperate. On the terrace, their final fight begins. Sara, thinking fast, lifts the diamond necklace from her neck and throws it over the edge. Robert lunges after it, blinded by greed, but he missteps. His balance shifts. He plunges over the railing, vanishing into the darkness below. The other man tries to flee, but fate catches up with him too. In the end, both men are destroyed, not by Sara's strength, but by their own greed. Now, alone, bruised and shaken, Sara stands in the silence. She picks up the remaining diamonds and quietly hides them in the ice cube tray inside the freezer. A secret no one will ever think to look for. A treasure, finally under her control. End the movie. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other recaps and subscribe for more content. And leave comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
I got the rice. You know the kind you get at Tiffany? We both knew this day was gonna come, Chad.